My biggest product regret, and I led an initiative a couple years ago where we built something, we assumed that we knew what the customer needed. We took a year and a half to build it. We ramped it over 3 months. And at the end of the day, it kind of really didn't meet the customer need. It's taking those bets and not really having the fundamentals down, engaging with the customer, making sure that's what they need, and as well as solving a problem as opposed to solving our own needs. And this was really at the heart of it, a core internal need that we kind of pushed on through a new experience to the customer. But it's those efforts and that example where we took a long time. We didn't actually talk to the customer about it, and we launched it, and it was, yeah, it met the need, but it didn't really, given the investment, it didn't have a material impact on and positive effect on customers. We were building a customer service platform to be able to handle disputes. And that involved a few different things. It involved the customer facing experience. It involved the underlying policy to determine how we handle certain types of disputes, chargebacks or merchandise related disputes, as a couple of examples. And it involved the tools and the interface that people, customer service people, operations people use to be able to manage disputes, either to have a system automatically make decisions on winning or losing a case for a buyer or seller, or if it actually required human intervention, giving them the necessary information that they had. Now, where it fell short on the fact is that the back end work was really what drove the experiences that we created for our customers. We let that dictate the types of information we captured, the interface that we provided to the customer, the timelines in which we would take that information in, for an experience, quite frankly, that's not exciting to too many customers. That nobody wants to have a bad situation where they have to deal with a dispute. And we were building on a legacy system and using that as our basis from which we were building the new system. So we were more grounded, I would say, in terms of I'll call it drag and drop, taking what we had already, assuming that what we had already was fine, and recreating those same things on the other side with this new platform and experiences, as opposed to saying fundamentally, the world has changed in 15 years. Customers need to operate, and they tend to north of 50% via mobile, and providing them a mobile experience. We're more informed as a company in terms of the information that we have already, so that I'll just say the transaction information. So we don't need to ask the customer to fill in the blank on a web form, which is kind of what the direction that we went, as opposed to saying, well, we already know these things. Do you want to refund the customer as a seller? Or do you want to go through the process of reading through all this, updating this field that we already know, by the way, and putting that onus on the customer? And we shouldn't have been, but to be surprised that so for disputes with PayPal, there's a buyer and a seller. And to be surprised that on average, 35% of the time is when sellers respond to those disputes, as opposed to north of 80%, which is what it really should be. We should be giving them easy ways to be able to handle these issues and make their customers happy. We didn't do enough, right? We didn't think about fundamentally take the opportunity to rethink what we were doing, or understanding how customers interacted with us, what would prompt them to interact with us via mobile or web.